What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to role-playing games. This is Mariel Connor in the internet where we like to discuss about RPGs. We like the content, like the video, super appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. In today's video, we're going to be speaking about the items, stuff, things that you need to pick up when you're out there on a hunt. So, let's start running a little bit. When you're hunting something, you should also take the time to pick up stuff, like the one that I took right there. Herbs. Do you need them? Not really, not necessarily, but interestingly enough, they will give you quite a lot of an extra edge if you combine them with honey. But that being said, if you open your map, you will see that there's it's just a staggering amount of things that you will see, and you might be wondering, what is it that I need to pick up? What are those little things that I have right there? There's so many icons. There's just way too much stuff to keep up with. Well, basically, you need to familiarize with, let me see, this one. We're going to start with the perma buffs. Usually, you will notice that they are on high places. And I cannot stress enough, let's take a moment in here, please, sir. Just hear me out. There is no way for you, as you were able to see. I did take a meal, and this is my ancient potion. If I eat an ancient potion, it is not going to do anything to my health nor stamina. But what happens when I take this little boy? It's going to give me stamina. And that being said, you might be wondering, dude, that's just way too much of a hassle. Why would I want to be picking all of that stuff while I'm more interested in actually taking the time to fight the monster? I do not want to gather things. Well, listen, my compadre, my lazy amigo. Usually, first and foremost, usually they are going to be in this kind of places. The more you play, you're going to feel more familiar as to where to find them. But early stages of the game, you can completely ignore them. It's completely fine to ignore them in early stages of the game. But please, for Christ's sake, once you get to the end game, get familiar to those places, get familiar to where every single one of those little things are. To my left, I have one. To my right, I have one as well. So the thing is that once you get to endgame, there's going to be so many monsters that are just going to one-shot you. They're going to one-shot the hell out of you, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it if you don't have enough health. It doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, I've sunk thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in today's games, and I still make that silly mistake that got me killed, and that, it got me the hate of my mates, of my compadres, of my fellow hunters, because I did not have enough health to withstand that final ultimate of the boss. So, I cannot count how many times did I enter a random hunt, and somebody got killed because they didn't took the time to actually grab their little thingies. Greens are going to give you health. The yellow ones, they are going to give you stamina. Orange, I do believe that is armor, and red, damage. So, yeah, I mean, get familiar with them, and just, like I said, early stages of the game, it is really not that important, but please, for Christ's sake, once you get to the end game, and once you get to those one-shotting bosses, this is the only way to survive those bosses. So take the time. It doesn't matter if it takes you 2 or 3 extra minutes of your hunts. You're not a speedrunner, alright? What you need to do is actually save your teammates some KOs, and some KOs as well. Do everyone a favor and collect your green little thingies. And anyways, that being said, we're going to swap up next to the other endemic life. Yeah, it really is not that important. I do not consider it to be that important. But gathering, on the other hand, we have different types of icons. Usually what you want to do is get materials, and that's basically it. Two types of materials. There's going to be bones, like this one right here, and they are going to have a very specific color. For example, let me see if I can get closer. It seems that I cannot get closer. But anyways, it should be like a kind of a gray question mark. You will see that there are some kind of similar to each other. But yeah, here you go. The gray and black, they are going to give you monster bones. Monster bones, you're going to need them for specific weapons as well as for specific armors. Those are crafting materials. You also have minerals, the mining outcrops. The blue ones are also going to give you minerals, like you can see right there, iron ore. Those are going to be very important as well, because you can use them to craft weapons as well as armors. And that being said, should you ignore the rest of them? So far, those are the most important ones. Those are should be the focus. But you also have like the rest of them, which, let me see if I can find them. There you go. Unique item, mushroom colony. There's going to be different colors of unique items. Unique items are going to reward you with Kamura points. Do you see? Those are not actually regular items. You cannot use them for anything specific. They do not have a specific purpose for you to have at base. For example, like the purpose that a bitterbug would have or a thunderbug would have. More often than not, what I would advise is like all of this, latchberries, bitterbugs, thunderbugs, do not care about them that much. Well, maybe on early stages of the game where you do not have your Argosy maxed out. But once you have your Argosy maxed out, you can completely ignore everything, because you can farm it at Camera Village with the Argosy. What you do want to keep grabbing every single hunt, it's going to be these little guys. You do not need to max out, but just more than enough for you to be able to withstand that blow. And that being said, the ones that give you Camera points, they are not the only reason why you would need them. If you go to your side quests and requests, you will see, for example, that we have like those wish splinters, boat shells. I mentioned this once on a different video. Cultural exchange and economic stimulation. So as soon as you get this quest, you're going to be requested to deliver any of those items. Those are not specific items on themselves. You will get them from gathering spots like the ones that we have up here. Let me get up there. And they are going to be randomized. It's very hard for you to know which one is going to be what, because every time that you take this voice, they are going to be random. For example, this one is going to give me unique mushroom, and unique mushroom, choice mushroom. Did you see? Like I said, those are not specific items. Those are going to be needed to fill out your requests. And there are very important requests in here that do request you to deliver stuff. Some others will request you to kill little things, but for example, let me see, a Rhinoplos egg. This is for a dango. You need dangos as well. Wyvern eggs for a dango as well. So there are many things that you will need to be gathering in here, and you can do so while you are hunting for a monster. And usually people would get frustrated to you in different monster hunters, because you know it's never cool when somebody is hunting a monster and you're out there gathering resources. In this game, especially on endgame, they are not going to mind that much, because they are going to understand that you're out there looking for these little bad boys that I told you before. They are going to give you damage, and they are going to ensure, as you can see up there, I almost maxed out my health bar, and that is going to ensure that you're not going to get one-shotted by that specific boss, especially when you're fighting against the Magna Malo and so on and so forth. Trust me, you need to take the time to gather those up, and also take the time to gather materials, bones, and minerals as soon as you start getting more familiar with the map. You're going to be able to acknowledge them more often. Flashbug that you see right there, you do not need to be gathering those because you can farm them on Camera Village on the Argosy. But for you to max out the Argosy, you do need to be gathering those question marks that are specific for the camera points. Camera points are actually going to help you quite a lot early game when you do not have that much camera points and you need them for a bunch of different things. So that is what you want to focus on when you're starting out on Monster Hunter Rise. And also, when you're on later stages of the game, this is never going to stop, okay? It doesn't matter if you reach high rank, if you reach master rank, doesn't matter. You're always going to be gathering these things. Always get accustomed to plan a route for you for each specific map for you to be able to gather them. You're going to be loved by your companions if you actually do gather them and not cost useless KOs that did not need to be there to begin with. That being said, if you like the content, like the video, super appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. If no one else told you today, you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. You are in the gorgeous, a beautiful person. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.